Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video I'm coming to you with 5 blind buy wins that I have in my collection. I have done at least one video about successful blind buys, and so I'm trying to feature some more successful blind buys in my collection that I haven't mentioned before. So let's go ahead and get it going. So as I've continued on in this hobby, I've blind bought less and less. I still blind buy here and there, but it isn't a habit of mine. If you enjoy blind buying, I definitely see the appeal in it, but for me, I just hate it when I get a bad blind buy. So it's like when you get a good blind buy, it's like the ultimate high, but when you get a bad blind buy, it's the ultimate low. So I'm going to talk about 5 of them in my collection that are fragrances that I do love and I bought them blindly. So the first one I want to mention is from the house of Tom Ford. It's from the private line. This one is called Vert de Encens. This particular one is my favorite from the private line. Now I only own 3. I don't remember how many I had at my peak, but I had less than 10, I believe. But I only have 3 now. I've sold the rest of them. Vert de Encens is my favorite from the private line. And this one was released in 2016. It is discontinued. It came in a 50 ml and a 250 ml size. I've never seen a 250 ml even online, but this one is one of my favorite incense-based fragrances. Incense-based fragrances is still one of my favorite genres, and this one has always been at the top of my list. If you've seen any of my incense videos, this one has wood resin, pine, incense, fir, balsam fir, heliotrope, and boxwood, whatever that is. But this is just a coniferous incense, slightly powdery fragrance. I blind bought this. I got it brand new. Sometimes I had bought, a couple of times I had bought like tester bottles of these Tom Fords, but this one I got brand new in the box, so I never had a chance to smell it. It ended up being always in my top 3 of incense-based fragrances. Let's move on to the next one. The next fragrance is from a house. This is the only one I own from the house, and this one is called Cuir de Lancôme. This particular fragrance, again, this is not, I've mentioned this before, this is not the original cap. It's notorious to have this horrible cap that wouldn't stick on, and I was leaving out the mall trying to open it, too impatient, and I dropped the cap and I broke it. So I just found this and threw this on top. Now, I blind bought this. This is discontinued. Cuir de Lancôme was released in 2006, and some of the notes are saffron, mandarin orange, bergamot, patchouli, hawthorn, jasmine, birch, styrax, and orris root. And this is a more of a feminine type leaning leather fragrance than, say, a Cuir de Russie from Chanel. It's more powdery, especially with the heliotrope and the orris root in it, but it is a beautiful fragrance. This is a complete successful blind buy. With that birch tar, you do get that leather feel in it, so it does have that like leathery accord. And my favorite type of leather scents are ones with a birch tar note in it. I'm not really into ones that have, I don't know what that leather accord that they make. Somebody told me the scientific name of it, but this one is one of the blind buys that I was able to find it. I didn't know much about it, but I saw it and was researching it and just decided to pick it up. And it was a winner. Hopefully when it gets a little bit cooler here, because it does get a little bit cooler for a couple months here in Kuwait, that I'll get a good run out of this. So let's move on to the next one. The next fragrance is one I've mentioned on my top 10 rose fragrance list. This is from the house of Tauerville, Andy Tower, and this one is Rose Flash. This is the only one I own from the line. Most of the other ones have been discontinued except for the rose and the vanilla, I believe. So this one I blind bought. These are extremely affordable. I think even though this is a 30 ml bottle for $100, for what you get, it is almost a steal. It's extremely strong and extremely long lasting. The notes on it are pretty simple: rose, resins, and woods. And this is just a jammy rose with resins in it. It has that resinous feel. It's sticky. It's almost like a honeyed type of rose. But this is a beautiful fragrance. It's very, very potent. Between the rose and the vanilla, this one is a parfum concentration, and the vanilla is a eau de parfum concentration. So just keep that in mind. That also adds to the value of this one, in my opinion. Moving on to the next one. The next fragrance that's a successful blind buy is from the house of Francesca Bianchi. And this one blew me away when I smelled it, but you won't be able to tell by seeing the lack of dent that I have in it. And this one is called the Lover's Tale. The Lover's Tale was released in 2018. And when my guy here got in a bunch of Francesca Bianchi's before he opened up his niche spot, so he carries the whole line now. Before he would just get in things sporadically, we had to blind buy them. And one of my friends here was, just giving me a rundown on some of them. And this one, he was telling me it was super animalic. And that's how I knew that the Lover's Tale was one that I had to get. So some of the notes on it are honey, orris, peach, heliotrope, leather, castoreum, labdanum, and oak moss. The Lover's Tale is one of the strongest fragrances that I own. It is animalic, which is why it's called the Lover's Tale. It has a sensualness to it. You only need like 2 sprays, 3 sprays at the most, and I am habitual oversprayer, but this one you will kill people if you put on too much. And if you see my dent, I've maybe only worn it like twice, but there's barely anything missing. But this is one that I think about. I do love this scent. It would be on my animalics list for sure, because I still love animalics. And it was a complete successful blind buy. It's the first one I bought from the house. I ended up buying 3, but this one is still my favorite one so far. So let's keep moving. The next fragrance is from the house of Diptyque. This is a Harrods exclusive. It was released in 2022, and this one is Opsis. I did do a review on Opsis. As you see, it's halfway gone, which kind of sucks because it is a Harrods exclusive. I don't know how I wore that much of it. But this one is a beautiful scent. I had to blind buy it because, again, it's a Harrods exclusive. I've never even been to London. This one has frankincense, iris, bergamot, and musk listed as the notes. Now, according to Fragrantica, it is similar to Gaiac 10, the Tokyo exclusive, and I can confirm that. I can't say, I'm sure that there are some, if I were to smell them side by side, I'm sure that you can find some differences, but they are in the same wheelhouse, the same ballpark. But it is a good irisy incense type of scent. This was a successful blind buy. It's not one that I would want to get rid of, even if I had more in the bottle and I could get rid of it. I do like this one. It is a unique scent, and Gaiac 10 was one of the city exclusives that I was interested in getting as well, except that this one is maybe half the price, and it's more expensive because it's a Harrods exclusive, and it's still way cheaper than that one. But if you haven't tried Opsis, definitely try to get a sample of it. It's pretty good. Moving on. That was the 5 fragrances, but I'll offer you one more. This one I had to order from Dubai because I've still never seen it in stores here, and it doesn't seem to be like widely available as all the other Guerlains are. And this one is Liu. Now, I was on a kick looking for aldehydic floral fragrances, so this particular bottle is a 2021 release. The scent was originally released in 1929, so it's a really old fragrance. It's in the same wheelhouse or ballpark as Chanel No. 5 without the animalic. So it would be, I guess, more similar to Chanel No. 22. This one has aldehydes, jasmine, rose, iris, vanilla, and woodsy notes. And this is just another quintessential aldehydic floral. So if you've tried Chanel No. 22 or aldehyde 44, this one again fits the bill for that. This is one of the original aldehydic florals. It's not the original one, but it's one of the ones that have been around for almost 100 years. This one's great. This is something that I would maybe want to try to get a vintage of if I were to find it for a decent price. I did see a bottle, but it was going for an exorbitant price. So I was glad I was able to pick up on this from the Dubai Bloomingdale's. So again, I had to blind buy it, and this was definitely a successful blind buy. So there you have it, guys. Those are 6 successful blind buys in my collection. Do you guys enjoy blind buying? Have you had success with your blind buys? How do you feel when you get a blind buy that you absolutely don't like? What do you do? Do you sell it? Do you give it away? Please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.